Welcome to your daily embedded intelligence sprint, where firmware meets headline. On the night of May 22nd, after a one-day scrub, SpaceX flew Starship Flight 12, the debut of the V3 upper stage configuration. Space News verdict: most planned objectives were met, but with real anomalies. The Super Heavy booster's boost back burn failed. Only a handful of engines were lit, and they shut down inside 20 seconds. The booster hit the Gulf of Mexico at roughly 1,500 kilometers per hour. The FAA is now assessing it as a possible mishap. Both stages also lost one engine in flight, and Starship's engine out logic compensated. The ship deployed 20 Starlink mass simulators, re-entered without incident, and made a soft splashdown in the Indian Ocean at T+66.5 minutes, then tipped over and exploded as planned. These test articles aren't built to survive the water. V3 is still the vehicle Artemis HLS and Starlink Mobile depend on, but the boost back story isn't fixed. The project is Open Traffic Map. The chip is Espressif's ESP32-C5. Single 240 MHz 32-bit RISC-V application core, a 40 MHz low-power RISC-V core, dual-band Wi-Fi 6, and the 802.11p physical layer mode used for vehicle-to-everything communication. The board exposes that 802.11p mode as a cooperative its receiver. In practical terms, you can sit by an instrumented intersection and decode signal phase and timing and cooperative awareness messages from passing vehicles with a sub-$100 board where the OEM equivalents cost 2 orders of magnitude more. CNX Software covered it on May 24th. Why it matters: 802.11p experimentation has been gated by price for a decade. If you teach embedded networking, run a traffic engineering group, or build ADAS test harnesses, the eval cost just collapsed. 2 embedded Linux relevant drops in the last 24 hours, both via Phoenix. 1. Multi-kernel Technologies introduced kernel script, a domain-specific language for kernel customization and application-specific optimization on top of their multi-kernel work. 2. The Rust-implemented Wild Linker hit 0.9, adding broader platform coverage and a new linker plugin API. If you run Yocto builds, both matter. Wild attacks the link stage latency that dominates large Rust and C++ images. Phoenix also flagged a boot time wizard project the same day, explicitly aimed at embedded Linux boot time. 3 pieces of the same pipeline, all moving. Bleeping Computer reports the Laravel Lang language packs on packages were hijacked. Attackers abused GitHub release tags so that downstream Composer installs pulled a credential stealer payload. No CVE has been assigned at time of broadcast, and we are not asserting one. This is supply chain at the package level. Engineering action: if your firmware build server or device management backend pulls Composer, NPM, PyPy, or creates packages by tag rather than by commit hash, your CI is one tag right away from a stealer running with build server credentials. Pin to hashes today.
Embedded.com Weekly Insights bundle on May 22nd puts zonal architectures for software-defined vehicles at the top. With Verisit's new VAR-SM ARC-MX95 system-on module and a Harwin connector survey alongside. The MX95 SOM is built on the NXPI.MX95 and explicitly supports Linux, Yocto, Android, FreeRTOS, and Zephyr running in parallel on one device, exactly the partition story's own controllers need. Connector reliability, per Harwin, is now the #1 engineering concern in North America and Europe. For 2027 and 2028 SDV programs, the dominant SOM, network, and connector decisions are being de-risked publicly this week.
Space News, May 24th. NASA plans to add missions to its SpaceX commercial crew contract, hedging against Boeing's CST-100 certification slipping further. The practical effect: Crew Dragon stays the only certified U.S. human launch vehicle through the end of ISS operations and into the commercial station era. The certified avionics stack on Crew Dragon stays the working reference design for any team building human-rated systems. Hyderabad City Police rolled out an AI mobile application that records a citizen complaint, transcribes the audio, and translates it across 10 Indian languages, reported by the Hindu Business Line on May 23rd. That is a production, government-scale deployment of Indian language ASR and machine translation in a police workflow. For embedded teams building citizen-facing devices in India, this validates the AI4 Bharat Stack on Android approach for downstream procurement. In the next 24 to 72 hours, a Roscosmos spacewalk outside the ISS on May 27. the expected formal release of the AV2 video codec, and we'll be watching for the first NVIDIA-published CVEs tied to today's composer Hijack. If this brief saved you scrolling through 30 sites, the channel exists for that. Subscribe Embedded World News. See you tomorrow.